too. There's more pressure on these rookies than anybody would care to mention. The Browns are 1-2. They're not 2-1. They got a big game coming up against the Lions. The Lions are averaging 34 points a game through 3 games.
Haven't played us yet. Haven't played our defense.
David Montgomery, the former Iowa State Cyclone, is averaging 6 yards a carry.
Well,
he might be at. I got to take a look.
He had a 70-yard run in the last game.
He's averaging 6.9. Nice. He's averaging nearly 7 yards a carry right now. He and Jahmyr Gibbs both have 3 touchdowns. That run game's good. That run game's good. This is going to be a challenge. And especially for an attacking front that doesn't do much gap discipline there, that means there's going to be a lot more on your linebackers coming up on Sunday. But Ross Tucker, we got a little snippet of it with Dane Brugler yesterday, and we're going to play that for a second coming up here in a bit. But Ross Tucker was on with Afternoon Drive, and Ross Tucker had this to say, and guys, don't go after the messenger. This is the way the NFL thinks of your situation right now. Hit it.
We're all humans, and recency bias is a real thing. It's not like you look at every draft pick and every free agent signing and say, okay, here's Andrew Berry's batting average. You do that, and then you just naturally more heavily weight what he's done more recently, and the draft class is unbelievable. They have 2 legit running backs, a legit tight end. The linebacker's a star. The D tackle looks like he might be a star. That's a lot. And by the way, they did this while acquiring extra draft picks for next year. If you're Jimmy Haslam and the fans are clamoring for change or whatever, now that you have these extra picks, are you going to move on from the guy that just had the best draft in the NFL in 2025? Who are you going to hire? Because these guys never bring in a retread. They always bring in somebody new. Do you think that's the best choice for the long-term health of a franchise, to bring in someone that's never done it before, and you're going to trust him with the 2 first-round picks and all the other picks over the guy that just crushed the draft for your franchise?
Can you crush the draft and still get 4 wins? Because if you only get 4 wins, how can I make an argument? Now, I've danced around this a little bit. If you look at that defense, there's a lot of Andrew Berry on that defense. That defense is a good defense. To the point where I kind of wanted to make a joke. Well, maybe you don't get rid of Andrew Berry. You just bring in an offensive general manager. We have offensive and defensive coordinators. Why do we just focus on one guy? Why don't we have an offensive general manager? I don't know how you guys make the picks. Maybe you can Rochambeau for it. I'm not sure.
Kenny, we've had so few, just quickly before we get into all that, we've had so few good drafts since certainly 1999, and then you got to go really back and look at how the teams were put together to go to 3 AFC championship games in the 80s, and then you got to go back, to win the championship. So, it got me thinking, what would this have to be to start to push this rookie class up historically? I know the bar is really low, and then I typed it into AI. All right, the 1964 draft class, Paul Warfield and Leroy Kelly were both a part of that one. The 57 draft class, you have Jim Brown.
You just told me you didn't like history 40 minutes ago.
That's why I had AI do it. Because I couldn't do it myself. So Gene Hickerson and Jim Brown were in the same draft class. So what are we talking about here? And it got me thinking, if getting that extra first round pick for next year turns into the quarterback of our future, now we're talking about this.
Do you trust him to make the quarterback pick of the future? Do you trust him?
I mean,
Ross can say whatever he wants. Does Ross trust him?
I gotta say, it's only been 3 weeks. There's been a little more trust.
There has been.
There's been a little more trust.
There has been. But I just gave you an argument for defense. Any of my arguments for offense don't really turn out too great right now. By the way, here's Dane.
Harold Fannin and Judkins.
Here's Dane.
I don't know about Sampson, but those two I'm pretty damn excited about.
Cedric Tillman probably do better without hands. I mean, he's already tried it with 2 hands. Maybe he'd do better without hands. Here's Dane Brugler yesterday, said about the same thing. This is the Athletics' best draft analyst. Go ahead, hit it.
As long as ownership is realistic about what this team is and, what the next 2-year, 3-year plan is. I mean, I was sitting at the 50-yard line watching that game on Sunday, and watching the impact that those rookies had was really fun. And, I mean, this team, I don't have to tell you guys this team has not had a single top 50 draft pick the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. And that just the decimation of that roster with young talent is evident. The 4 picks they had in the top 67, it's so critical for those those guys, that core, to be productive this year, show promise, and we saw that on Sunday. I think that the promise of this rookie class and the reality check of where this team is right now, I would be pretty surprised if the head coach and general manager are not calling the shots this upcoming offseason.
You hear that? All the people want to get rid of Andrew Berry? He's calling you unrealistic. He was sitting amongst you on Sunday, calling you unrealistic.
Well, so he's adding something finally to the ledger, the for this regime ledger, which had been pretty out of whack, right? It had not been very even. It had been very lopsided. Wins and losses, that's the number one, right? That means more than anything else. Wins and losses. All right, have you found a quarterback? That's right up there too. Then what else? What else is it? All right, in the organizational stability, have you gotten rid of a lot of the nonsense? Have you gotten rid of, Kenny, a lot of the unforced errors? There's still some of that. I mean, having 4 quarterbacks in camp, I don't think that speaks well to your organization at all. Having 2 different quarterback competitions, one for your starter, one for your backup. We'll see how it plays out. If Dylan Gabriel ends up being the quarterback of the future, you guys can all laugh at me and say, oh, I thought you thought that was a big deal. But on paper right now, and even Daryl Moose Johnson was talking about it last game, and he's like...
He said it was did he say disaster or a waste of time?
Waste of time.
He said a total waste of time.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
And I think most of us agreed, right? That didn't really make a lot of sense. So the ledger has to start to balance up. Well, one way you can do that is having the rookies jump, not just be good, jump out. And they have jumped out at us through 3 weeks. And they made a trade that's going to land them an extra first. And right now... Is Mason Graham the best player in this draft class after 3 weeks?
As of right now, yes.
Stupid
as
to
of
even
right
talk
now, yes.
about that.
In the top 10, let me go back and look.
We're doing the show
he is.
3 weeks in, so why not? What better time to have it? We'll reconvene next week and the week after and the week after and the week after. But that's...
I don't know, leaves are starting to turn here.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. And at no point have I been like, Mason Graham doesn't look like he has a chance to be good.
But he plays defensive tackle, and so I have to show people, because I get a lot of things like, where's Mason Graham? Where's Mason Graham? Where's Mason Graham? And I have to show them the pass rush win rate. I have to show them some of the highlights. I got to go, hey, look, this is why Alex Wright and Myles Garrett were able to get to so-and-so. This is why Isaiah McGuire was able to get to so-and-so, because of this pressure that you did not have over the last how many years.
Now, the other part of it that I do wonder... If you give every GM 6 years in the NFL...
Abdul Carter and Will Campbell have been pretty good, I think.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we'll continue to monitor. But if you give every GM in the NFL six cracks at it, eventually they're going to put together a good draft class out of 6. So you asked about trust. I will say the trust has gone up. It's only been 3 weeks. The trust has gone up. But do you have to meet a certain win threshold? Do you have to show that... all the arrows are pointing up? Because you said, can the rookies be really good and them still lose a whole bunch of games? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and I also got to say the direct correlation. Like I can bring up Abdul Carter, who you would have had a chance to draft at number 2. I understand that. Will Campbell, I think, is going to end up being good. Tet McMillan, I think, is going to end up being good. I thought he had a good game in week 2. Haven't been really paying attention in week 3, but if we'd have taken Travis Hunter right now, I think what that trade did was save me my guts being boiling, because I'd be pretty worked up right now. I'd be pretty worked up over what they're doing and what they're messing up with Travis Hunter right now, had we had Travis Hunter, and he was doing the exact same things he's doing in Jacksonville right now.